So, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Chappelle put out a comedy special on Netflix, and I'm not pumping you up or hyping it or going crazy, but that was one of the funniest comedy specials I've seen in a long time. I laughed at several parts, and for me, I don't usually laugh at the Netflix comedy shows. I don't. Even Bill Burr only has me chuckle a couple of times. But I was legitimately laughing throughout multiple parts, and it was just so delightfully irreverent, and it was fun. And Dave Chappelle is just a master comedian, and he can captivate an audience and tell a story, and he's very very good. Now, I want to play a clip from the show because I think it's just so vitally important. I saw Tim Pool play a clip. If Tim Pool could play a clip, I should be able to play a clip. We're all news channels here, right? I'm not really a news channel. I'm a hobbyist. I'm an entertainment connoisseur and commentator. But this joke was just this joke had me absolutely dying. This was amazing.
And the only thing that got me out of that space was a comedian friend of mine, the late, great Norm Macdonald. That's right. Shout out to Norm.
Shout out to Norm indeed.
And what Norm did, which I'll never forget, is he knew that I was the biggest Jim Carrey fan in the world. Now, I'm not going to go all into it, but Jim Carrey is talented in a way that you can't practice or rehearse. What a God-given talent. I was fascinated with him. And Norm knew that. And he called me up and he goes, Dave, he says, I'm doing a movie with Jim Carrey. Do you want to meet him? And I said, fuck, yes, I do. And it was the first time I could remember since my father died being excited. And the movie was called Man on the Moon. I didn't know any of this. And in this movie, Jim Carrey was playing another comedian I admired, the late, great Andy Kaufman. Yes, and Jim Carrey was so immersed in that role that from the moment...
So, obviously, people know Andy Kaufman through his comedy, but I actually also know Andy Kaufman through his legendary beef with Jerry the King Lawler.
The moment he woke up, to the time he went to bed at night, he would live his life as Andy Kaufman. I didn't know that. When they said cut, this nigga was still Andy Kaufman. Yeah. So much so that everybody on the crew called him Andy. I didn't know any of that. I just went there to meet him, and when he walked into the room where we were supposed to meet, I screamed, Jim Carrey! And everyone said, no! Call him Andy.
God, just the way he expresses himself.
Over, he was acting weird. I didn't know he was acting like Andy Kaufman. Just like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, hello. Andy? Now, in hindsight, how fucking lucky am I that I got to see one of the greatest artists of my time immersed in one of his most challenging processes ever. Very lucky to have seen that. But as it was happening, I was very disappointed. Because I wanted to meet Jim Carrey, and I had to pretend this nigga was Andy Kaufman all afternoon. And he was clearly Jim Carrey. I could look at him and I could see he was Jim Carrey. Anyway, I say all that to say, that's how trans people make me feel.
Oh my god. All that for oh man, it's so beautiful the way he set that up. Oh my god, and the audience loved it. I mean, that's just amazing. Oh. I also want to play this one too because this one got me good as well.
God forbid I ever go to jail. But if I do, I hope it's in California. Because as soon as the judge sentenced me, I'll be like, Your Honor, before you sentence me, I just went to court to know I identify as a woman. send me to women's jail. And as soon as I get in there, you know what I'm gonna be doing? Give me a fruit cocktail, bitch, before I knock your motherfucking teeth out. I'm a girl just like you, bitch. Come over here and suck this girl dick I got. Don't make me explain myself. I'm a girl.
Oh my God. I tell you what, it is delightful to watch irreverent humor delivered by a master who, I mean, it's so obvious. He's so organic and it's so funny. Give me your fruit cup, bitch. Come over here and suck my lady dick. Oh man. That was very amazing. The comedy special is called The Dreamer. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend that you go and watch it. It is incredible. And the whole thing isn't, side splitting. But there are consistently well told jokes throughout the entire thing. And that, honestly, is one of the most difficult challenges because a lot of these comedy specials, either it's like an Amy Schumer one where it's not funny at all and it's actually painful. Some of them are like, this is bearable, I guess. But it's very, very, very rare that I'll just burst out into laughter watching a comedy special. And Dave Chappelle can do that. The other person who could do that was, he mentioned Norm Macdonald. I love Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald was one of the funniest people to ever live. I believe that. He was just absolutely side-splittingly hysterical, and he would do it just by being himself. The timing and all of that, it was absolutely amazing. And I'm fortunate that I got to grow up and live in a time where these funny geniuses shared their craft and got to share it with the world. There was a platform that they could do this. I wish there was more comedy like this because it's so needed. It's so absolutely needed. And so I wanted to share this with all of you, that this is something that I can highly recommend, something that I can vociferously recommend because it's so funny. Now, I know that people who watch my videos, you're not going to get offended by this stuff, but throughout the whole thing, there are moments where you're like, "Oh my God." And it's the best sort of it's the best sort of experience. I would be interested to see what Ricky Berwick had to say about this. Oh man, this was pretty great, and we should be very grateful for Dave Chappelle. He is a national treasure. He's a real individual. I don't agree with him on politics, and stuff like that, but he is, I think that he is genuinely one of the funniest people that I've ever seen. The way that he can organically just make people laugh with his facial expressions, with his mannerisms, his tone of voice, everything. All of that plays in to why he's so funny, and he can time it perfectly. And it's a brilliant thing. And he seems like he's a real person, rather than just, some character, some plastic person. Like we were talking about in my last video, we were talking about the director for the new Star Wars movie, which seems about the fakest human being I've ever seen. Every word out of their mouth is some virtue signal or some self-aggrandizement. Or, I have been part of this and this and this, and this is my charity, and I help people around the world, and I am the first woman Pakistani director who's a woman who got nominated twice for movies that nobody knows or cares about. It's like somebody like Dave Chappelle, watching him be real is such a treat because we're inundated with so much fakeness, so much inauthenticity. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't recommend this highly enough. I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you next time.